What up, everybody? What up? What up? What up? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of In the Light of a Warrior with the MS Warrior. Um, Today, I think it's going to be a normal day. Last time was a random injection, and, you know, we weren't quite prepared. Well, I wasn't, but I hope nobody got woozy with that. And if you did, well, that's an incentive for you to eat healthy, uh, exercise, and if you're looking for the fountain of youth, I will tell you that the generic version of the fountain of youth is H2O. Your body is made up of pretty much mostly liquid. So the more liquid you put in your body, the better for you, as long as it's water. But with that being said, I need to make sure that everybody knows that this is my disclaimer. This isn't medical advice. This is just a journey from an MS warrior who wanted to share their MS adventure with you all. So make sure that you guys talk with your doctor before you do anything that we suggest here. And like I said, this is just our way of trying to get you to see a different point of view. With that being said, I'm AG the Dad, this Shit Talking Sunday. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button. If you haven't already followed us on YouTube, you could follow us on YouTube at Shit Talking Sundays, or you could follow us on YouTube at my MS Journey on Kasimpta. Okay, what you see right there. Without further ado, let me introduce you to the one, the only, the beautiful MS Warrior. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up? How you doing, AG the dad?
Hey, I'm always trying to do something different, trying to keep it positive, keep positive
Yeah,
people around me. So,
right. Yep.
what are we talking
That's
about today?
oh, um, raising grandchildren while being stricken with MS, or let's even say raising children
Okay.
and MS, because grandchildren are still children. That grand doesn't change the fact that they're kids if you're raising them grandkids. You're
Yeah, I
you're
mean, life doesn't
yeah,
stop for nobody. You're even
yeah.
though you have MS, you still
Whew,
eventually, if evolution goes the way it's supposed to go, you're going
right.
to have children, and your children are
Mm.
going to have children, and their children are going to have
Their
children. So,
children.
if the Most High
Yeah,
bless you enough, you will be a great grand. So we'll
right.
see, or even more. But
Right.
hey, you know what? Tell us your adventure. I'm gonna give you the floor. It's all
Alrighty.
you.
So,
All right.
okay. First off, guys, I'm gonna let you know I'm not giving you at all any what to do medical advice. I am not a doctor, so I would never direct you to follow my lead on what where my journey is taking me, and any medications that I talk about on the podcast. Solely strictly from my medical team for me. Okay. So anytime you need medical advice, call your medical team. And if you feel that you need medical attention, please call 911. Okay. So, with that being said, let me start off from last Tuesday when we podcast the live injection. I must say that it took me longer, guys, to bounce than it had my past two um, injections. It was kind of, I wouldn't say, but I was less nauseated. I ate really good during that course of the week, actually, that it took me to bounce back. I just felt super duper sluggish, tired more than before. Now I know, and I have noticed each time I do the injection, things sway a little different each time. So I was hoping that that wouldn't, be the case last time. Of course, we never want to say, well, if I do that injection, I'll take this, and you know, nobody wants to feel sick, right? So, um, I thought, okay, it's down to 2 days, not feeling too good. I'll take that. But all week long, I did not feel good. I was weak, just blah. And I was like, okay, tomorrow should be better. But it did. It got better, and here I am, yours truly. So so I just wanted to get you guys up to date on that. I had posted, I believe the day after, 2 days after, on my YouTube channel, my journey, my MS journey on Kisimta, did post there, giving you guys an update. And I want to thank you guys for being a part of my MS journey. You are the reason why that I do this and want to share my journey for share, compare, and support with you, and vice versa. So let's talk about being stricken with MS and raising kids, whether it be your niece, your nephew, your grandkids, your brother, your sister, or your own children. My children actually are grown. So I am raising grandkids though. And it's been rough on them, to say the least, I'm sure. The last 7 years I have had 4 grandkids, of my daughter's 4. And now I'm down to 1 as of today. And this has come in spurts. The other one is 18. She's gone. The second born child had a rough time. And we had some incidences here at home that I had to say, as a grandparent or a parent or a guardian, I had to say enough was enough. How, you know, that's hard dealing with, on top of um, raising children with MS. There's been so many times to where I have, fallen ill on a relapse or not feeling good, and that kind of stopped their life, you know, when they could been going to the park or going to the mall, just being more active. Me not being able to be as active with them as I was prior to getting sick, so that is a lot on someone, with everyone in the house, I'm sure. And I always say this because I live with multiple sclerosis, and it affects everybody in your home. So um kudos to, everyone. And I would really like to hear other warriors stories about how do you manage, how do you get by? Um, is there something specific, to do? Even though I've raised my own, but there comes a time, for me, um, and maybe for others too, to where you feel like you're at your wit's end, and maybe you would deal with it differently if you weren't sick. Because for me, um, of course, stronger, mentally stronger, more capable, more independent, you know, before I fell sick, so having to be all these things and raise a house full of kids, um, it's been hard. It's been hard on all of us. And I've had to make some decisions that regarded my well-being and my stress levels. I can say I tried and tried and tried on certain situations, and I've had to make the decision what was, kind of best for the child and myself at the same time. So um me feeling about being a grandparent, period, and having MS, and not just regarding the children that are under my roof. I have other grandkids, of course, who don't live with me. That they also get cut short, of being grandma being physically able to be around all the time with them and doing a lot of activities outdoors, stuff like that, so that kind of bites, and what direction do you take on it? Like, um, what do you do? Me, um, I keep real open with my grandkids about my sickness. Even the youngest one, so well, she's not my youngest grandchild, but one of the younger ones, she worries about me a lot. Being sick, and if I'm in the hospital, she's really emotional about it, and that's my Pukaba, that's my Catalina, and I try and duo her so she could see me face to face, as often as possible, couple of times a week. Um, I talk with her so she gets to hear my voice that I'm not sick, and she's 7, so, um, I try and be there a lot through duo and phone conversations and stuff, so that way, I'm still present, in her life, because with MS, I'm not so physical, anymore. We try and get together and do things in the way that MS has it. Sometimes, planning things get canceled, so um that really kind of bothers me. I'm sure it kind of bothers other people out there too. It kind of sucks, but what can we do? We have to reshift and reshape our relationships with these kids, and it's hard, and I'm kind of battling with one decision that I've done, and don't know if it was right. Even though I kind of think it was right, but once you do something and you remove that situation, you ponder, like, oh my God, did I do the right thing? Did I do it for myself or did I do it for them? Or maybe altogether both, maybe, it was overall, good, but to be put in that situation, you know what I'm saying, having to make a choice. Let's just take for instance, if you have a child that's kind of rebelling and doesn't want to do school, doesn't want to listen to you, and you got to tell them over and over again, chores, and say this is ongoing for a year, and you find yourself beating a dead horse. You find yourself, your stress level up, you are angry, because you can't get that individual to um, take responsibility. And if you, I guess my question is, when do you say enough is enough? Hey, fava beans. Don't think too much. Yeah. Um, so raising kids is an easy period, right? Yes, it's not easy by any means. Of course, there's a lot of good things in raising kids, and a lot of love and a lot of laughs, and you get to see whose personality they've taken on, whether it's the husband, the wife, the aunt, the uncle, the grandparent, So there's so many upsides too. I've had a lot of fun with my grandkids. A lot. A lot. But at the unfair side is I've had to be the ruler because I'm raising them, and which is not fair to them and fair to me, but this is a situation that my grandkids faced, and it was either them going to the system, or grandma had to step up. And I did that, to save all 4 children from going to, protective custody, and probably would have been fostered out. And hate to say, but this is my real life at this point. Neither parent has turned their life around and this is unfortunate, um, haven't turned their life around to, be back in their kids' life to raise them. Oh, sorry to hear that about your dad. Yeah, worrying is not good for warriors at all. Yeah, we've got to chill. Yeah, I try not to worry too much. I'm not a big worrier, fava beans, to be honest. There's not too much that I stress about in life, honestly. I have um a lot of support, and um not too much stresses me out. But um raising children and having MS is very stressful. Very, very stressful. Very stressful. So um I had to take the initial steps to kind of get my peace, and it may be better for that child as well, to be in a different environment. I don't think my grandchild wanted to be here in the house with us anymore. He's turning 15, and kind of didn't like the rules here, under grandma's thumb and stuff. And I don't say I don't blame him at all because he didn't ask to be here. It's just the life, this unfortunately that all of us had to face, 7 years ago. So um that was big in my I do believe um with the MS made it harder for me to control things with my grandkids being under my roof. Not only did they have to see and deal with the downside of me being sick and short tempered and not feeling well and not being able, yes, it does bug me. um Me not being able, just to be there in a normal sense. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, not being sick and then dealing with things, of course, I'm sure would be different. I'm kind of stern, you know, and so that I don't know if that played, in any part, but yeah, I was stern raising my kids. I had two boys. They do help look after me, of course, you know. Um, they've seen a lot. They've lived a lot of MS with me. Like I said, I've had them for 7 years. I fell sick 5 years ago. Um, so how do you control this MS side to you in raising kids? Should you be raising kids and having MS? You know? So there's upside, to it, and downside. Yes, have they been a positive force in my life? Being sick, most definitely, most definitely. But there comes a time when, as you guys know, we've all been there, done that at teenage years. But then, do you come across the time where you have to say, either I got to do this for myself, for my peace of mind, or for them, or nothing, or you know do it till the wheels fall off. So um I don't know. So that's why I'm right in the middle of that today, and it just happened to fall on podcast Tuesday. So I thought it would be a good subject to talk about it and give you guys the update on how I felt a couple days after last Tuesday's injection. I don't plan on going anywhere for quite some time, fava beans. So, um, I have uh the youngest child still under my roof, and mind you, I have these children under court. I had to go to court and get guardianship over the children. And I was put in a funky situation. And I feel bad for any grandparent out there who is going through what I'm going through because of the system made you do that. Um, because it kind of it's damn if you do, damn if I did, damn if I didn't. Because when to save the kids from going in the system, I gave up basically gave up my relationship as a grandparent to be a parent. I couldn't do both. I couldn't be a parent to them and a grandparent. Those 2 don't mix. Grandparents don't have to put your kids to bed on the weekend at a certain time. You don't have to make them do chores every day. You don't have to make them do homework. You don't have to make them go to school. You don't have to take their phones from them because they're restricted. That's all that is for the parent to do. I'm 56. So, um it's been sheesh, you know? Let alone, MS robs people. Thank you. MS robs people, of um their life, their control. Things would have been different for me and my grandkids if I wasn't sick, you know? Um, so upside. Let's talk about the good things. Talking about the bad things is making me emotional. Um, yes, they can say, I've witnessed my grandma, when I'm gone, they can, share their experience. And oh yeah, Paris, beautiful. I've never been there, but no grandkids yet, huh? They're yeah, I'll be okay. And everybody will be okay too. So we'll see how everything works out. Um I have 3 also. All grown. My youngest is 34. So the upside, a lot of support. I needed my grandkids a lot, a lot. Oh gosh, they've helped me being able to get out of the bathroom. You know, we've shared some very touching times with me being sick with MS, hospital stays, that they had to, no, I wouldn't say had to, but wanted to be there with me. Things in their schedule had to be canceled because when MS calls, you know how that is. You can't hang up the phone on MS. You can't hang up the phone and say, "Nope, you gotta call me back because my granddaughter has a recital," So, um, it's been rough, and they've been very understanding. I'm sorry that your father has died of MS. Hopefully, in the near future, they will find a cure during our time still. There's a lot of promising studies coming out of Harvard right now that looks very, very promising over a cure. So, hopefully, in our time, we will be able to experience treatment for our multiple sclerosis. You know, um, so yeah, I hate MS too. I do, and I've taken control of it, fava beans. Actually, this year, and the Kesimpta that I'm on um, has helped. Giving It has given me a little bit of normalness back in my life. It hasn't removed the MS or um, stopped any of my symptoms completely, stuff like that. I still have symptoms daily. And some days they're worse than the others, but my bounce back is quicker. So that's all I could ask for. at this point, being 5 years in, this is the best I have felt in quite some time, even though I can't go out and run a marathon or, do that kind of stuff. But um, things, I've put it into a different perspective. A lot of things around in my life are changing. Some for the better, and some for some decisions that no grandparent wants to make. But it's my life. So you win some, you lose some, guys. I'm sure you guys have heard that saying before, and um it's tough. So, hi, Jason. Hey, hey, hey. How are you, bud? Today's episode, I've got some stuff going on with some grandkids that I raise here at home. So that's why today's topic is MS and raising grandkids, or even just a warrior raising children at all. How do you guys deal? Jason, I know you have kids. So how do you deal on days that you just can't function, with and then you have kids, so I'm sure that it takes a toll, on the parent. As me being a grandma, I'm still a parent, and I'm coming to the point to where I'm tired. I shouldn't be raising, my grandkids. Their parents should be. And I've made a decision today that I might it'll upset me for a few days. And I had to make that decision to let my grandson go stay elsewhere. So, and that's all today. That's why the subject today is about MS and raising kids, not just grandkids, kids. It's rough. Nobody gave me a manual on raising your grandkids being sick with multiple sclerosis. So at times I've had to apologize, because of me not feeling good, and me um, short tempered, or, you know, I've had to tell all the kids, excuse grandma today because I'm not feeling well. So if I yell at you, I apologize because I'm feeling sick, and, that kind of stuff. That's, that sucks. It sucks, except, but, um, yeah, yeah, I know. So it's been, it's been rough, and, um, I hope, well, I can say I gave it the best that I can. Do I feel that I, could have did more? Yeah, I do. But, um, I know in life we've all come across where we had to make a decision, and then you think about it. It may bother you that you had to make that decision, and that's where I'm at right now with um um letting my or having. He was happy to go, go stay with this person. They're not a stranger and stuff. But I just hope I did the right thing, guys. Like, seriously. I just feel that he didn't want to be with me anymore. So hopefully he does better, where he's at. He can always come back. Um, but I don't think it would be good for him or me, actually. You know, I think so that's my story. I know it's not a happy one. um yeah, Jason says sometimes you got to do What you got to do, I'll be praying for you. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, so, um, with that, it's I'm sure it's tough. So, I don't even know what else to say, about that. Maybe let's switch gears a little bit and talk about uh when do you know that you need a different doctor? When would you say, um, for yourself, what do you look for? And just in general with sicknesses, it really doesn't even have to be MS. You could have MS and something else, or just another ailment. What do you look for in a doctor? Thanks, Jason. And when would you say enough is enough and want to go look for another doctor? AG, you may be able to chime in on this one because you've had to see, and I'm sure you're under doctor care with your concussion.
You know, I was listening, right? So
Uh-huh.
I want you to understand that don't feel bad about the decisions that you make. Your body is going to tell you when it needs a rest, or
Yeah.
um, I'm going to say, in my opinion, you did the right thing because a child still needs a healthy um, growing environment.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you can't provide that. And we're not talking about literally because of viruses or something that can
Right.
be caught. It's more
Yeah.
so
You're
just
right.
uh,
You're right.
if you're battling something that that you have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. I'm going to say that sometimes the energy falls onto them, and
Hmm.
they can over time sense your
Right.
pain. So
Yeah.
sometimes that's a lot to put on a child. I
It
mean, I
is.
know when me and my ex separated, um, I know my children saw the hurt that I went through.
Hmm.
So, you know, for me, um, that's what had to wake me up when I looked at them and I can see that they were going through the same thing I was going through. And I figured, well, damn, one of us has to be stronger. So I felt that, all right, I got to do me. I got to make sure that I am um, healthy and strong to be able to take care of them. So
Right.
sometimes taking a step back so that you can take two or three steps forward is the better thing. So, and you know what? Having time with I guess that's an auntie, right? That would be a
Yeah.
good thing. So,
Yeah.
but
She's
yeah,
like a
that's my
grandma.
opinion. See what you think.
Yeah. And you're exactly right. I've been saying I don't think um that it's healthy for him either. Okay, I have MS, I'm the grandma. Um, so do I use that as, reasoning to that? You know? I mean, I know, um, like you said, AG, that's just like depression. When someone in your household is depressed, you seem to pick that up. It jumps on other people. I've had that happen in my house before, and that's crazy. So yes, I do feel that um the way that our dealings with each other, it wasn't healthy for him. It was sometimes unfair, of course, to him because the manner that I enforced, schooling, and why not? Or I would say imposing restrictions and stuff, and just all around, I think he may do better not being, you know, under me, here at home, and we'll see, so that can affect, I'm sure, a child living, um, with a sick grandparent. Um, it can take a toll on any child, really. And then just how the grandparent um has to deal with things, being sick, and it's just the whole thing of it is unfair to both parties. So I'm hoping that I did the right thing. Jason says yes, depression does affect others, like it's almost contagious, like it's weird, but also happiness affects people also. Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Like, okay, I'm depressed, but why are you getting it? That happened to me before. A couple years ago, I felt depressed on medication before, um, and it was after the hospital, the steroids and everything. So my honey started getting depressed. I was like, "What's going on with you?" And he was like, "I don't know, but I think your depression is rubbing off." So yeah, that's true. It really does happen. So yeah, you're right. The energy for ain't that crazy? How just if one person is totally feeling depression symptoms, it rolls affects someone else. So okay, so Jason says, I've had to step back some from playing with my daughter. She is young. I know she doesn't understand why. I'm not saying I don't play with her. I just had to had to adapt how I play with her. Yeah, because everything, energy, balance, the fatigue and stuff like that. So yeah, everybody, the kids, get robbed sometimes because what you were able to do, you can't do anymore. That's for my situation. We were doing kinds of stuff before, I fell sick, you know, and that's changed greatly, of course, and then the kids living a MS life with grandparents, you know and I know, thank God, they're probably said, now, thank God we had grandma. But at the same time, um you know as I'm raising them now, there's a 10-year-old. We still have a 10-year-old. um you know I can't do the things that a healthy grandma can do, you know not all the time. Yeah, let me get her on her bike and I'll ride next to her on my scooter and stuff like that. Yeah. And we've gotten a lot of things around the house to play with, so they are occupied at home, so they don't feel like they're so bored and we have to take them out and stuff, because I do that all the time. Jason to run through the house with her on my back. Oh yeah. Now I'm not able to do that type of stuff. Yeah, Jason. I know MS sucks, doesn't it? If you got dynamite, I got a lighter. Now I'm not able to do that type of stuff. I try not to think about it. It is what it is. At least I'm here for them to do the things I can do. You're right. Yeah, and that's all. And that's important, when someone is stricken with MS, to know that you're doing the best that you can and still are there physically, with them. And that's what I hope my grandkids take from the years that I had them, is I gave them everything that I had, I did it for them, you know, and adapting is everything. Adapting, yeah, you're right. Adapting, overcome, yeah. Um, and two other people in their lives play a big part in that, too, because for for us here, with my honey, his kids come over. Maladi's got three boys, and they play a lot with kids, so especially in the summer times and stuff, we have badminton outside, we have a trampoline, we have a big pool and stuff like that. So, during the summer times they keep busy, um, without having to leave home so much. That's important. And that's why I make sure we have a lot of yard games to play, and we do trivia nights and, all kind of stuff, to compensate for, which that's fun anyway. My kids grew up doing that, you know what I mean? But um, I try and keep it fun for them because, I'm a grandma. I'm older. It's not like, I can get out and go roller skating. If I wasn't sick with MS, I would. I love roller skating. So, but we have to, like you said, Jason, adapt and move on, you know, from it. And we have to be content with that. You know, that's that's a must. So like now, there's one out of four. So she's left. She's a female. Her nickname is Cheeky Butt. So um, I am looking to get her into Bible study now, 1 day a week, and so she can learn about um, the word, the person, God that we talk about and stuff. It's time. She's 10, and for her to meet some, kids her age. It sucks for these kids right now because of COVID, and stuff. So I was thinking, okay, this is more so some free time for her, and get her, into some Bible study and meet some friends, and maybe go on a few field trips. Churches do all that kind of stuff. And while she can learn, she's being now very inquisitive, asking us questions about God and certain things in life. So um I believe, so in which all my grandkids, they have their own choice, if they believe in in God, and
Mhm.
to show them and teach them, if they so choose. So it's time for her to, see if she believes, and so she'll have, that faith in someone to turn to. Grandma's not always going to have the answers. you
Mhm.
know I'm not that strong.
You
you
know,
know
it's crazy. It's crazy that you say the things you say. Um, I have a, I run this podcast, and I'm not necessarily a single father because I do have a woman that, you know, helps me with my children, and she loves
yeah,
them like her own.
yeah,
Um, their mother, for whatever reason, is wherever she's at.
okay,
And as far as I'm concerned, she'll probably put the blame on me that it's my fault. But the way I look at it is, nobody is going to keep me from my child.
yeah,
Um, if I got to take you to court, then we will go to court and we will battle that out. So, um,
yeah,
with that being said, the reason I had to leave and I've been kind of MIA in this podcast today is because I've had to take care of my kid, and I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. If someone said, "Hey,
yeah,
I'll make your podcast blow up, but you got to forget your kid," nah,
uh-uh,
there's no
yeah,
amount of money that I would rather stay humble and poor, um,
right,
but rich, with
in
family.
a different set, exactly. I feel that way um about my children.
Like
And
I said, with yours, sometimes you need a break,
yeah,
especially when they're not biologically yours, because uh, believe it or not, especially if you didn't get them as a baby. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
they knew you. I'm sure they
Yeah.
knew you from day one, and you've been in their life. But
Yeah.
being a grandma and being a mom is two
Two
different
different
things,
things.
and you can't wear both hats
That's
or they run all over you.
yeah.
And for you, you were grandma that spoiled them, and then all of a sudden now you weren't, and they were like, "What?
Right.
Nope." And that's
Yeah.
why don't feel bad. The rebellion that you're probably experiencing is that flop and switch that
Yeah.
they're that this particular grandchild is having a problem with. You know,
Yeah.
when
I
they
just
get older, they will
mhm,
respect the fact that you did what you
what I
did,
did. Yeah.
just like
And I
my
know
kids.
and I know they will in time, you know what I mean, when they get older. And we're so limited on family, to be honest, that could help.
Mhm,
So it's like, and you're right about that, because they and I'm gonna keep it real, they lived the homeless life and the drug life, with their parents. And then um coming into our home, of course, is they had a it's totally different. And then now
mhm.
now someone who's not my mom is telling me, you need to go to bed, you need to do your homework. Oh, give me your phone now because you didn't do your homework. You're missing assignments and now you're in trouble.
You
That
can't
and
whoop me. You ain't whooping me.
exactly.
But you know what the thing with that is, and I guess that's why I don't really have a whole lot of problems with my grandkids, because from day one I've always been consistent.
Yeah.
Even though I spoil them when I can, I still have always lived by a man. I'm not even sure the best way I could put it. Um, but structured and
Mhm.
disciplined mentality. My father was in the military, so
My dad too.
um,
My dad
so
too.
for us, it was a lot of structure, and this is how it is, and there was always a lot of moving, and so I had to adapt. Now, the trade off um, is I really didn't get to enjoy my father. You know,
Mm,
my father was way at war when I was a little kid,
yeah.
and then, having to do his military stuff and being gone all the time. So for me, there was definitely a loss, you know, especially when my father passed.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit more bittersweet for me now because his birthday is coming around. This will be his first birthday that I'm going to experience without him.
Oh,
I'm still not at the end of my 1 year of firsts.
right.
There's still
Yeah.
the last one that I'll get to experience is Mother's Day. It's really ironic, right? So the first holiday that I experienced without my father was Father's Day. And the
Oh,
last experience that I'm going to get to experience without my father is Mother's Day.
oh,
I
yeah.
mean, if that ain't deep, that's
You're
crazy
right.
if you think about that. But
Yeah.
that's why I say, you have to sometimes when you get, especially as we get older, and that I think my father said it best. We will be a a man or a woman once in your life,
Mm,
but you will be a child twice in your life.
mm.
And what I mean by that, and what he meant by that, is when you're born, you're a baby, you're a
Coming in
child,
and
you
going
need
out.
help.
Yeah.
Then you grow up and become an adult. And if the Most High willing, you grow to be very old, and even more so if the Most High bless you, that you go out with all your functions and your mind state. But if
Right.
not, then you will resort back to a baby
To
state, and
and need. Yeah.
and that's when maybe sometimes maybe and you know what, this might be an episode that somebody down the line somewhere somehow is going to hear, and he or she is going to be like, wow, I needed to hear that. But you know, you have to look at it from the standpoint that um, man, life is way too short for one,
Mhm.
and two, um, nothing is promised. So you definitely want to make sure that you raise your children properly, because if you don't, when you get older and you need them again,
Oh yeah,
you haven't instilled in
in
them
them. Yeah,
the nurturing of wanting to be that way. So
right. And
for
then
me,
yeah, yeah,
that's why you gotta.
you said some key things, and I'll just give a brief summary here. So my grandkids are gypsy. Okay. What I
Mhm,
know and what I've known about gypsies, and I don't want to offend anybody, but what I've learned and watched them, their family, lie, con, and cheat. And they raise, now I've seen this firsthand. Now these are my daughter's kids. And I've watched them it, teach them this at an early age. So then coming at their age, what they did here in our home 7 years ago, man, trying to get the children to live differently, of course, by our rules, different set of rules, right? Either way it went, it's been wow, because my my ways clash with what they've been taught. Even though my daughter's American, she took on the gypsy role like she was a born gypsy. And now, and I can't say that a lot of their ways um that I approve of. Majority of them I do not. Okay, so my grandkids have been taught this by both their parents. And coming into grandma's house, is it's different, so being able to or trying to instill them, we thought we were, man, soon as the kids got old enough to think, okay, I'm old enough to run, the police aren't going to do anything, and I get to go be with my mom in the street, that's what they did. And it's been battle after battle. One of my grandkids ran 9 times. We've man, the police back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and being almost put out of school, and I mean expelled. We're talking psychologists needed to be brought in, and I mean it's just been a big, big, big ball of wax. And phew, and 5 years into it now, I've been sick dealing with, this, and it takes a toll too on the kids because, like you said, they're not used to if they've been taught something else, and of course it's from their parents, so they believe in that, and then trying to get them to know that a lot of those things that you are taught are it's going to cost you, maybe some not so good things in life that you really don't see now because you're so young, and stuff. And that's it's been rough. It's been rough. And I'm the youngest one now, well, you figure 7 years ago, she's just 10. She'll be 11 in June. So she has been a little bit of stuff, but not the whole shebang of it with her parents because we've had her so long. So, we're trying our best to see. And I've reflected back these last couple days on what I've done, with the other kids in my house, and thinking, please, you know, don't want to do that, and their outcomes are not good. I'm going to keep it
mhm.
real. It's my life, I have one granddaughter who calls me all the time crying that she's hungry. I buy her groceries and um, things like that. Yes, Jason. And that's why I am looking for a church nearby so we can put her in Bible study one day a week. She's happy about it. Um, and now that she's home by herself too, and just to understand and have some faith, that grandma and grandpa don't always have the answers, so try to teach her, in a different direction. I think everybody needs it. you know, at one point or another. At least I know I have. I've since I fell ill, I have looked for God many times, and every day I thank him for waking me and my blessings and everything. Somebody prayed over me while I was sick in the hospital, and which is Larry's mom. His dad and his mom came down from out of town purposely to see me at the hospital and prayed over me a few times since I've been ill. And I always believed, but that made me have more faith than what I did have.
Mhm.
And I really want not just the youngest, but you know, all my grandchildren. But that's a whole nother kind of getting off track, anyways. But um, so us having to try and change these kids, telling a young child, um, you've been shown this and taught this, but now here at grandma's, we don't do this and we don't do that. We don't do this and we don't do that. You can't do it. And so, you know, it's been it's been rough at times, good at times. And yes, I've been struggling with the fact on letting my grandson go somewhere. And it's not always the pleasant thing to say. Yes, I have gotten
You know, he's at that age though. He's what, 14?
yeah, he'll be 15 in a couple months.
So let me tell you, at that age, that's right about the age where um, they've already discovered um, that they like that th- they've learned attraction.
Mm-hmm.
And at 14, 15, 16, they're trying to learn how to execute that attraction because their pheromones are on high gear. So in
Yeah,
that age, it's really, really hard, especially if
tough.
you're dealing with a son, a grandson,
Yeah.
and being a mom, a woman, and no disrespect to any woman out there, okay, when I say
Mm-hmm.
this, and I mean this with all the respect I can say, but a woman cannot teach a man how to be a man because she has never been one, and a woman cannot teach, and a man can't teach a woman
How to be.
how to
Yeah,
how to be a woman.
a woman. Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
we
I
the only
agree.
thing we can do is tell you with our age and our wisdom what
Right.
we think they want, but we're still coming from a masculine or feminine standpoint when you're
Yeah.
talking to the other. So it could be a bad thing. For
Yeah.
me, uh, my children had both their mother and their father in their life with my
Mm-hmm.
daughters. And um, we when we parted ways, we governed a little bit different. I still had that firm and very protective because they were daughters. I
Right.
was a guy, and I knew how much how much of a dog men can be. So I tried to
Right.
shelter them and protect them. As a woman, um, you may come at them, and I assume that their mother came at them from the other standpoint of, go out there, girl, daughters. You need to, meet people, enjoy. Just be careful. More from a not as cautious as we as men do. I
Right.
don't know if
Right.
that makes but
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
and your husband, uh, not being their biological parent, probably, I there's a wedge. Children still
Yeah.
have that, just like with my
Oh yeah.
stepfather, when my
It's
mom got
not.
remarried.
Yeah. It's not
You
the
can't tell me nothing.
same.
You can't tell me
Yeah.
nothing. You ain't my
It's
daddy.
yeah. It's not the same, and they'll listen, but their action shows different. And I'm the ruler because I'm biological grandma. Grandpa is not biologically grandpa, so I kind of reign over him with the kids in that sense. And
Hmm.
so they treat me differently than they treat him. Grandpa's my friend. Oh, you're my grandma, you know, because grandma's the ruler. You know, grandma's the ruler,
Uh,
and so then they act accordingly to him. and but then act, differently to me. Their
Mhm.
response and everything is different how they deal with grandpa than than with me. And I especially the male to male thing, totally, and it's totally different. And of
Mhm.
course, with the respect, he raises his voice with me and talks back to me, but he doesn't do that to him. You
You
know
know,
what I mean?
Jason, to this comment that you have right here, um, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the lesbian in us that we like women. I mean, that's as gay as I'm going to ever be. Is I love women. So for me, there it is. There, if that makes sense, Jason, we in the same club, man. I had to cheer it up a little bit with the because uh, we haven't talked about what shit talking Sundays because every day is shit talking Sundays. I want to make sure that everybody likes, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and if you want to get this word out to help people to deal with MS, man, you gotta share.
Share, share, share,
Tell somebody.
share.
I try to come from a different angle. I want people to understand that MS is a serious condition, but we can laugh about it. We can joke about it. Shit Talking Sundays is about no racism, no bullying. It's
Uh-uh.
about trying to make you think deeper, think outside the box. And, you know, hopefully when you walk away, you learn something. So for me, that's what it is. The Most
Exactly.
High says, "Judge not, for one day you too will be judged." So, Shit Talking Sundays is just a name to get your attention. Now that I got you here,
Exactly.
I hope you learned something. Matter of fact, today, Tuesday, every Tuesday, matter of fact, we have In the Light of a Warrior with MS
Indeed.
Warrior right here. On
Indeed.
Wednesdays, we have Fitness Tip of the Week with fitness major Vince the Beast. Um, Wednesdays at 6:30. We have church service, morning service every Sunday at 9:30. Although I did forget, not really forget, I had a whole lot of things I had to take care of this past Sunday. So I hope the Most High forgives me for not having it this past Sunday. But with
You
that
are
being said,
forgiven, I'm sure.
let's get back to the meat of the bone, and I hope everybody is enjoying what they're hearing about so far.
Yes. So, guys, I'm gonna just talk to Jason real quick. He's my loyal warrior, and then I'll leave you guys this evening. So, Jason, I could only hope that these kids, and there's two older girls. Now one's 18 and the other will be 16, and then um, the third child who just recently left today, he'll be 15. That's all I hope that they will take what me and grandpa have instilled in them, even though at this point they are running chasing this life where it has been glorified by their parents. And it's a street life. And you guys know nothing comes good out of street life, especially today's day and age, and that's all I could hope. At this point, they're no longer under my roof, but I'm still grandma, to them, and will always try and direct them in a positive way. Um, and then for the youngest, that we still have here at home, the same thing, and that's all we pray to, with our children, when we're raising our own children, we want to, teach them and give them everything that they need to know when they're ready to head out into the world, and and pray that they use what their parents have given them. And you're right, and it's their choice. I've been there, done that. I was raised, my father is an army man, very strict guy, actually. He lives with me now. My dad just turned 82 and left my pops, so he's under my roof, and stuff, as um eh, you got to take care of your parents as they get older and stuff. So um we were given that army life. He was very strict and stuff, and I raised my kids kind of strict, um just because of that's what I believed in, that would get keep my kids from um getting into trouble. I had two boys, two older boys, and then my third was a female. And so we always make the choices how we raise our kids and pray that they will follow the lead. Once they get out into that world, it's a big world, and sometimes they don't always make the right choices. Sometimes they learn from those bad choices, and that's the only thing that I can hope for my grandkids. And I'm sure your children too, because you've got you know young ones and stuff. AG, the dad, you did too. And, so we could just hope and pray and always be there for our children, even if they're not physically under our roof, but every day, or when you talk to them, you, you know, it's, I will never stop talking positivity to even my kids
Mhm.
now. I have a son who just turned 38 on the 4th of March, and I'm constantly in his ear about stuff because I need him and he needs to kind of get on a different path in life. So you're never too old to hear some advice from someone. Sometimes that's what it takes, is to hear that person tell you. So I'll never stop giving the wisdom to my children, advice, and my grandkids also. That's the only thing that I hope, all these people that I love in my life choose to go off of what has has been shown to them in our life, that on positive. Well, of course we're not perfect, of course not,
Mm.
but my values are really you know what I've lived by, what I was raised by, and I turned out pretty good. So um with that being said, um let's see. Jason said my parents were strict a little, but I knew the values they raised me. Yes. Oh yeah, my dad, like I said, my dad was an army guy. Different points of views can help for sure. Exactly. For sure, for sure, for sure. So yeah, I don't do with racism. It's all about love and treating others with love and respect. Exactly. My family, my father is Portuguese, full blooded. My mother was full blooded Irish. And then this is what you get. So, and I have, geez, I have cousins who are African American. We are just blended. We're blended. I have some cousins. My mom was Irish, auburn hair, and her whole body was freckled, beautiful. So we have a lot of races. My grandkids, like I said, they're gypsy. They got some black in them. I have my other grandkids, they're Creole. So oh, Mulligan. So we're blended. I have no time for racism at all. That doesn't exist, you know, at all for us. So we're it's application type. So definitely, you want to keep communication lines open, of course, with your grandchildren, and that's the only thing that I can instill, and hopefully um you know do the right thing. That's the only thing that I can, and I've always asked, with to Larry too, do you think I'm doing the right thing? Am I doing this? Because sometimes it's not always, the other person. Sometimes I can check myself and be like, oh, you know what? You kind of out of line right now. So um sometimes you
You
just
know,
have to, for me, I have to reel myself in and do a check, check myself sometimes.
right. Well,
So on that note, guys, I know this podcast for me was a little somber for me. I think maybe just because I'm going through the motion right now with that. But It is what it is. This is my life. You guys are going to learn so much more about me with with the podcast and stuff. And when things like this that are going on in my life, and it happens to be like today on a Tuesday, I'm going to share it with you because this is what I'm going through. It helps, of course, for people to talk to others about what they're going through because you just don't know what they're going through. You think that you need, an ear from somebody or a shoulder when you could be just
Hmm.
that for them. So you never know, what's going on. Jason, my loyal warrior, I appreciate you so much following me. Um, oh gosh, Smoky Mountains type of Indian heritage. That's beautiful. My kids have some Indian in them. Cherokee, actually. My two boys do. And some Filipino, Mexican, white, and Portuguese. See, I told you we're just blended. We love it all. So, on that note, guys, don't forget, please, the importance of the podcast is to share. Help me share and spread awareness for warriors like you and I. Um, AG has taken the time to put my journey out there for everyone to be a part of, to understand, share, compare, and support. And I thank you, AG, the dad.
No
Jason, again,
problem.
thank you so much for being my loyal warrior. And I'm still waiting for you to come and be on the show.
Yes, I was gonna say that you need to shoot me an email or shoot her an email so that we
Yes.
can give you the link so you can come on the show once or twice because you do
Yeah.
show up. So
Yeah, exactly. And I appreciate you so much. It really does matter to see somebody actually believe in you and to hear your story and to share. So that's what it's about. And without us, it wouldn't be out there. The awareness wouldn't be getting out there directly from someone such as me. Um, and possibly Jason as well. We have stories in AG, you too, because you have shared with us that you are going through a healing process with a concussion. So people wouldn't know that if you didn't say it, you know.
mhm.
So guys, I will see you guys back here next Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And I think I'm going to be discussing when do you think it's time that you need a new doctor? The red flags that you should know when it's time to see and get a new doctor. So, on that note, guys, sending love out there. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Good night.
Good night. Thanks for giving us your journey. Like I said, I agreed to do this
Thank you.
because I said no matter what, I wanted good, bad, or ugly. If you're feeling good, feeling bad, whatever it is, that time we're going to roll. I don't really have um, a lot to say today. It's more on morals and standards when it comes to raising kids, and that's generational. Some of the problems we're having in society right now, in my opinion, are because of all the laws that were enacted to correct things that people were doing excessively and abusively. And I think it got to the point where it became restrictive instead of educating everybody. We are restricting everybody without educating them to understand what's going on. Um, this is the result. We have children that, if you think about it, think real hard. Your parents, at least the older folks that are on here, 50 plus, your parents and your parents' parents, your grandparents, they were a lot more strict and stern, and because they didn't have all this technology. They had sticks and stones to play with. That's where the sticks and stones will break your bones. What words will never hurt me? came from, way back in the ancestor days. But anyway, on that note, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to In the Light of a Warrior with the MS Warrior. Check us out every Tuesday at 6 p.m., 9 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays, we have Fitness Tip of the Week with Fitness Major Vince the Beast at 6:30, 9:30 Eastern. And every Sunday, AM 9:30, we have morning service. So with that being said, thank you everybody for tuning in. Check us out the next time you see us, hear us, and love us.